Raphael Warnock goes by Reverend Warnock and calls himself a pro choice pastor. Do you think that there is awareness that he is so radical for abortion?
Largely, the answer is yes. Although there, now that we're a week and a half, almost 2 weeks removed from the election, from the first election, we've seen that there were almost 200,000 voters in Georgia who voted for Brian Kemp, who also voted for Raphael Warnock, and so that's I don't know that that's necessarily those are pretty clearly were not overly like ideological or kind of public policy oriented voters. There's probably a lot of personality involved in that, and look, one of the hard things about the Warnock campaign against Herschel Walker is spent probably 125 to 135 million dollars, really hammering Herschel Walker on some challenges that Walker had, 15, 16, 17 years ago in his family. And look, I mean, any kind of challenging story like that gets $120 million spent against it, it's going to reverberate in some corners of the state. So out of 4 million voters, the votes that were cast, 3.96 million voters roughly that were cast in December. I'm sorry, in November. When almost 200,000 of those kind of listened carefully to those Warnock hit pieces. That's all it takes. He won by, or he has a lead of almost 40,000, 37, 38,000 votes. So I do think it's important for more and more Georgians, those last kind of 200,000, if you will, to get the memo that Herschel Walker is indeed a pro-life. He carries life in his own personal values and would do so in his public life and as a public servant, whereas Raphael Warnock has now a clear demonstrated history, not only rhetorically but in his votes, of being pretty rabidly pro-choice, as a matter of fact, not just kind of in a few kind of challenging exceptions. He across the board is just he is a pro-choice, and frankly, I would just argue a pro-abortion candidate.